what it did for freedom of speech over there? Because, like, before it
Freedom of speech. This is the funniest thing about comics, dude. They love to pretend that they don't matter and they don't influence the culture, and people that are mad at them are like, dude, I'm not the expert. Like, go, why don't you go get mad at this and that? Why don't you get mad at Harvard or the Ivy League or the why don't you get mad at the Murdochs, blah, blah, blah. Always deflecting. They love to do that. And then at the same time, they love to act like they're so important. And if it wasn't for them, what would we do after a hard, long day? Because they remind us to laugh at this. So they're like service dogs. You know, without them, we couldn't even see. We couldn't navigate the world. We'd be miserable. Give it up for Very Good Clips. Go subscribe to them. They're making money now.
My chain. My chain. My chain. Don't you like my chain?
I'm never defending another comedian again the rest of my life. I've been defending comedians for a while now. I'm not. I mean, do I even want to talk about the Saudi Arabia stuff? I mean, these people are already dead. They have their fans who are just mindless slaves now. It doesn't really matter. They'll just keep doing arenas and... It's really like sinking in that like none of this matters at all when these people are performing for... When these people are performing over there, you're like, oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an asshole. I thought some people did believe in stuff. I guess no one believes in anything at all. I have egg on my face. Once again, I thought there was some goodness in the world. I thought there were some real YNs out there. I was wrong. I forgot that most people view life as this big game where billions of people are playing it, and you have to cheat and be evil and do whatever you need to do and abandon your principles at any given moment if the situation is advantageous to you in the short to long term. I thought people had principles that they stuck to. Oh, yeah, well, everybody has a price. No, they don't. The gospel according to Luke. Look him up. It's right in the beginning. Everybody has a price. Jesus was offered the whole world. All the political power, all the money, all of it. He said no to all of it. Oh, Ben's talking about Jesus again. Fuck you. Yeah, so what? So what? Should I not have a shining example of how to live my own life so that I can, not in the Jeff Dye sort of way, but I mean in a serious like guiding principle. I've said no to a shitload of money before. I've said no to more money than I've ever made in my life. Can't buy me. Burn in hell. Everybody can burn in hell. You can't buy me. Now, I do need someone to clip this and play this when I'm performing in Saudi Arabia in 8 years. But that's only because I've been trafficked and I'm not being paid. No, I'm kidding. I mean, like, listen to this. Like, I have timestamps here. I didn't even know if I wanted to play this.
It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday.
I mean, I've met Bill Burr. He's very nice. This is unforgivable to me. And I'm not going to attack a lot of comedians that went to the Riyadh Comedy Festival because, frankly, I don't view them as human beings or comedians. You know, I don't walk by piles of trash and mistake it for art. It's just trash. It's garbage. I had no respect for most of the people going over there anyway. And if you're like Kevin Hart, do better. It's like he's an American Express commercial. He's not even a human being. He's Adidas or Nike. He doesn't exist. Has no soul. He's not a person. He's not a human being.
I think the league sits there, and they know the formula.
And by the way, God help you if you're still listening to Bill Burr like talk about like the NFL or whatever.
It's going side to side. which is why if you go to Wimbledon,
Yeah, shut up.
whipping your head sideways. That was my Billy fucking trying to go to as many countries as he can and went to 2 new countries, Bahrain and
And the people have spoken. 680 or 895. Sorry, it's hard to see. This eye is still very milky, by the way. I would like everybody to know that. It's just not as sensitive to the spotlight I have here. It's blocking enough here. 4,800 dislikes. All the comments are
Manama, beep, 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 Bahrain, and then I went to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and I worked with Josh Adam Myers. And, you know, stand-up is new to this part of the world, so they always have, like, fucking restrictions and shit when you go over there. So the first time you do a new country in the Middle East, it's fucking hilarious. You go on stage, and you're sitting there going, like, am I going to get arrested? Like, what can I do here, right? So we went up at Bahrain, and we didn't realize that Bahrain was cool. Bahrain's where people in Saudi Arabia go to drink alcohol, party, and have, like, a good time, right? So Josh had never worked the Middle East before, and he went out on stage.
So he calls it doing the road. He's talking like he's like, I've never played Spokane. What's it like?
And in 15 minutes, like, I don't think I've ever laughed so hard. He had a full-on, he was freaking.
You know what's funny? Re-listening to this now, I'm realizing, like, how boring his show is. And I'm like, has he not been funny in a decade? I'm not really sure. I've been defending him for a while because, like, guys, we need some people out there. The guy, like, you know, he's friends with Patrice, and he's made me cry laughing. I think he's a genius. Not now. I will never listen to another thing he does. Don't give a shit. Not in like a I'm offended kind of way. Listen to this Burr at 22.
It's adorable baby, and you know, I'm a big softy dad, so without even thinking, I see the baby and I just go, oh, like that. And she broke out in a big smile. I could only see her eyes, right? Like, but I could tell she was smiling. And then she turned the baby around and waved its arm at me.
Why could you only see her eyes, Bill? Let's play that again. That's strange. You could only see her eyes, but why? Aren't you in a beautiful country that's just like us?
I'm fucking nervous, right? This is all, you know, I don't know. Gonna get in trouble, right? And when we were connecting in Qatar, this woman got on the plane and she was wearing the full burqa, but she had a baby with her, this adorable baby. And, you know, I'm a big softy dad, so without even thinking, I see the baby and I just go, oh, like that. And she broke out in a big smile. I could only see her eyes, right? Like, but I could tell she was smiling. And then she turned.
Is that not hilarious to anybody but me? That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. You knew she was smiling. However, you could only see her eyes. Dude, they're just like us over there, dude. They got fucking Chili's and Applebee's. Oh, does that mean you're a free country if you have Chili's? Are you fucking retarded all of a sudden, Bill? Are you a fucking moron? They also gave him a list of stuff he can and can't say at the festival. Couldn't even criticize the crown prince. He couldn't criticize the government over there. Look at this.
Comedy show in like Saudi Arabia. Isn't that what they do? You know, that's how they raise money with their filthy fucking oil money.
But hey.
That's so.
There it is. That was in 2011.
Comedy show in like Saudi Arabia. Isn't that what they do? You know, that's how they raise money with their filthy fucking oil money.
Weird. They're very progressive now, though. We're talking 12 years ago. They've done a lot. Bill's done enough vetting. He understands history. He now knows that they're all good. They're just like us over there. And women over there, they love to smile at you. Sure, you can't see their teeth or know for sure. They're smiling. You can't have a confirmation because you're not allowed to see their face or they'll be killed. But you see this stuff and you go, oh, are they midwits actually? Are they so good at doing mental gymnastics through ideas and beliefs that they can That they're just bullies, actually? Are they opportunists and bullies? And is that all there is to it? I don't know. You know, man, thinking about this, I go, is it? You go, I guess they were always this way, right? When somebody you sort of idolize or love or defend, you believe is a certain way, and then the mask comes off and you see it another way, you see them another way, you go, well, maybe they changed. There is no concept. Obviously, you're changing all the time. And other people are changing. And there's no sort of perfect being out there that is in this constant state of like you're constantly changing. Forever and ever and ever. There is no constant in life. Your life 10 years ago was radically different from what it is today. That is because every day you're changing, your situation is changing, the way you're looking at the world is changing. Maybe he changed, or maybe he was always this way. I don't know if it really matters, but that's dog shit. That's dog shit, and shame on you. His whole thing, by the way, has been this gay ass feminism. His whole thing has been this like women empowerment and like femininity, and he hates the autocrats. He hates the authoritarians. He hates Trump. Do you hate this, Bill? What about this? Do you hate this? How do you feel about this, Bill Burr? Dude, what do you want me to fucking do, dude? She's like a, come on. What, it says here she was kidnapped, deported, what the hell? Political prisoner? Crazy, dude. What was she doing? She was defying female driving ban in Saudi Arabia. Dude, they have a fucking Applebee's, dude. They're just like us, dude. What do you want me to do? They paid me $1 million, dude. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. I feel so stupid for having defended any comedian ever. Like, ever. Call me gay if you want. I don't give a shit. I'm not offended by their choices. I just thought, I thought people had principles. I really did. I thought people cared about people and like humanity and stuff. So this is actually a little insane. I've never seen a comment section this bad. It's bad. I mean, you got to remember this guy's been going after billionaires and wealth inequality and people doing things for greed and for money and having no morals and free Luigi, free Luigi. And he made us all feel really stupid, right? He's going to have to walk this back. He's going to have to walk it back, man. These comments are... Here we go, so I can load more comments on screen. Guys, no stop. So he's just trying to post podcast clips and go on. Just something about the Patriots or the Buffalo Bills or whatever. Guys, no stop. They have McDonald's and Timberland there in Saudi Arabia, so that automatically means they're good. 900 likes, and I think the comments on my phone, it said like 1,800. So he's getting, ratio. It's never a good sign. Sometimes engagement is bad, actually. Sometimes engagement's bad. I see people, like Nate Bargatze will tweet out a link that he's in an arena on top of an arena. It looks like he's playing on the giant spaceship from Lilo and Stitch. And he's in the middle where the queen addresses everybody. He's performing in some galaxy. Tickets are $4,000. I'll see something like that. Nate Bargatze will tweet that out that, hey, I'm performing here. And it has like 26 likes. And that's probably a better life than this, I think. Bill's going to have to walk this back completely. He keeps doubling down on it on his podcast. I don't think you understand. We don't want to hear your opinions about anything anymore. Why are you going to Saudi Arabia, Bill? Bill Burr was one of my I can't find anybody defending him. Billy Blood Money, Billy Bonesaw. And look, we've seen tons of comedians be canceled for, you blocking doorways, pushing women off roofs, having a harem of women in an apartment in West Hollywood and making them get your initials carved into their thigh, stuff that, who amongst us wouldn't be a degree separated from the Manson family, right? If you had power and influence, you would have a harem of high school girls living in an apartment in West Hollywood with your name branded on them. You would. All the power, it would go to your head too. You're just as corruptible. So before you throw a stone at that gang, billionaires who made his millions raging against billionaires accepts blood money from trillionaires. It's even worse because Bill hates the billionaires. What's wrong with the trillionaires, Bill? You can't say anything anymore. All this woke culture BS. Wait, they're offering $375,000? So this is the thing. He keeps saying everybody is a bot. This is bad. This is so bad. And he keeps saying, he doesn't look at the comments, but his friends clip things and send it to him. They're not gonna let him. They're not gonna let him. He's gonna have to walk this back so hard and donate money to human rights. I've never seen anything like this. Is worse than. It would have been better if he got caught with a little CSAM or something. It would have been better if he had, bloodied up a waitress on the road. Would have been better if he called a black guy the N-word and curb stomped him. Anything would have been better than this. It was the one thing he couldn't have done. Billy Bonesaws. Hates billionaires, loves royal trillionaires. The only people I see defending him have a very, very, very low IQ, like dog people, lower than dogs. People who lick their own assholes, like you would see a Rottweiler on a walk when a Rottweiler sits down in some crabgrass and puts its nose back there under its tail and starts licking its own ass. Those are the types of people who are they still don't really get it. Whoopsie daisy, or I'm gay. I'll show you the Monday morning podcast. He addresses it up top, but he says all of his words are taken out of context, so he doesn't want to talk about it too much. It's not because it was totally in his contract that he had to praise it and talk about it for a certain amount of time and blah blah blah. He made way more than $375,000. That was for the little guys.
Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, August 6, 2025. What's going on? How are ya?
Man, he's just trying.
Oh, Jesus. How's it going in your neck of the woods there? It's not going so good in my neck of the woods. I'll tell you that. The sanctimonious is sanctimonian. Key word on the monian.
Man, already it's just, you stink. You suck ass. You suck ass. You suck dick. This is I thought he might have gone with the thing of hacks love to say this thing. Hacks usually go on a podcast tour where people don't respect their comedy at all, but they make millions of dollars, and they always say stuff like, you don't hate me, you're just broke. This is what they try to say. Like, the only reason you hate on me is because you're broke. You got no money in your bank, I could take out a couple sticks and drop it on your mother, and that's why you're like, okay. I guess you're immune from all criticism at all.
Oh, Jesus. All right, here's the deal.
I thought he would do that, but he's saying everybody is sanctimonious, is what he says.
You guys are
Interesting.
asking me, obviously, a ton of questions.
Interesting adjective.
About the absolute controversy, right? Here's the deal.
So far, here's his whole argument. He has a tone of voice, which that's how you know someone has nothing and is gonna lose. Is they just say what people are saying about them in a shitty. It's just you go, hey, I think the sky is blue. I think the sky is blue. I'm sanctimonious and I think the sky is blue. You go, oh, you take a step back from that person because they're like a wild caged animal that needs to go get some help. Needs to go drink a bunch of cold water, take a couple naps, come back and go, I'm a fucking asshole. I was wrong. I'm a piece of shit.
I have no problem answering any of them. The problem I have is after I answer them, it all gets clipped. And then once it gets clipped, then the lies start getting told, or they start shaping it and making it this and making it that. So all I'm doing is just throwing another log on the fire, and then they can make more money. No, I'm sorry. Well, no, because they care so much. That's right. Sorry, not because they're just making money.
So do you see the projection? Do you see how much he's projecting? Accusing other people of doing things for making money. And pretending it's for moral reasons. Now, why are all these people saying they went over there? They went over in the name of free speech. Money is never mentioned. The idea of money or economy, it's all about free speech, bridging the gap between. Because I guess the royal family is going to hear Burr's joke about cruise ships and go back to their council of going back to all the cousins and being like, hey, I think, you know that woman we have in jail, and you know how we cut people's heads off and crucify them, and you know all the slaves and stuff. I think, I heard this redheaded guy from Boston. I heard him do this joke about how fat people love cruises. And you got me thinking. It got me thinking that we should be a democracy. Yeah, it did. It did because of the free speech because I saw what good could come from free speech, which is brilliant jokes about cruise ships and gift shops. And dude, he had this great bit about Rob Gronkowski. Dude, he had this great bit about the New England Patriots. It was hilarious. We should free everybody from prison that has protested our rule here. That's what we should do. That's why Bill claims he was over there. Free speech. It's being opened up, blah, blah, blah. It's very funny. I'll play it again right here. Total projection.
And making it this and making it that. So all I'm doing is just throwing another log on the fire, and then they can make more money. No, I'm sorry. Well, no, because they care so much. That's right. Sorry, not because they're just making money.
Bill, remind me again, how much money do journalists make on average? I know a few journalists out here. And along with Jimmy Kimmel, they'll be sucking dick behind a dumpster on Melrose. About 5 o'clock today is when they start sucking cock. $15 a guy, they'll suck your cock clean. Why? Because they have nothing going on. Do you know how much money these people get paid? And a lot of them are bad anyway. I'm not crying for them. But do you think journalists are sitting back here like, ooh, I love making all this money. I love making all this money. Oh, Oh, that's what I always overhear journalists say when I hear them at like cafes and stuff. I always hear them talk about they love how much fucking money they have when they're writing articles. The article that they're getting paid to post on Gawker for $60. That's what they they all do it for the money.
This is fascinating because I've never been in the middle of one of these fucking things. And my whole life, when I watch the news, not every fucking news stories, but there's been a lot of shit where you watch it going like, yeah, I don't know, kind of seems like that kind of fucking. So to finally be in the middle of it, and the level of like straight up lies is it's wild.
If you look at the articles, they actually just quote Bill word for word. They don't have to put words in his mouth; they just quote it.
I'll be honest with you. I've been off the internet for like a fucking month, but just the shit people have been sending. It's funny. You get off the internet and people still send you shit. So like these stories of like there was no women there. He just performed to the Royals. By the time they're done with this shit,
I didn't see that. I didn't see an article that said no women were allowed there.
They're going to say I went over there.
I also didn't see any articles that say he only performed for the royal family. I also did not see that.
Did a one-on-one show in a fucking tent staring at my toes, and then I left for the head fucking guy, whoever the hell it is over there, right?
Oh, now he's like vaguely. He said it was all about free speech. Now he's and like the history of the country and them moving forward and being progressive. Now he doesn't know who the guy is. He doesn't know what's going on. Now he's just, now I'm just a dude. I'm just a fucking comic. What do you want from me, dude?
Once again,
look at the dislikes on this.
I performed in an arena over there in the round. There was 8,000 people at the show. Okay? It was citizens. And then they had diplomats sitting down front in a nerve-wracking way for the performer to make sure that, you didn't talk about the 2 or 3 things that they said that they negotiated down to not talk about. Once again, as I said before,
it's
whoever
done.
put together
so
the comedy
cooked.
festival and everything, what it did for freedom of speech over there. Because, like, before it
Freedom
started.
of speech. This is the funniest thing about comics, dude. They love to pretend that they don't matter and they don't influence the culture, and people that are mad at them are like, dude, I'm not the expert. Like, why don't you go mad at this and that? Why don't you get mad at Harvard or the Ivy League or the why don't you get mad at the Murdochs? Blah, blah, blah. Always deflecting. They love to do that. And then at the same time, they love to act like they're so important. And if it wasn't for them, what would we do after a hard, long day? Because they remind us to laugh at this. So they're like service dogs. Without them, we couldn't even see. We couldn't navigate the world. We'd be miserable. We wouldn't know what to do. We wouldn't know how to laugh. We'd be so unhappy. And on top of that, they're the last line of defense for free speech and censorship. Where the woke meets the wall. What is it? Are you just fucking comics who love to make jokes about your dick? Or is it the other thing? Is it are you the clowns that save the world? Are you the clowns that save the world, or are you I'm a nightclub comic, dude. I just go in there, I'd make jokes about my dick, make a couple $100, like, fucking get out of there, dude. What is it? Pick one. Pick one, Bill. Is it for free speech, or what was it? Was it just doing the road?
About all of this stuff, and then they would...
Is it Glory? Are you Matthew Broderick in Glory going in with the slaves? What is it? What is it, Bill?
Build it down to just that. And that is how, if you truly care about stuff like that, you gradually move towards something more positive. All right? I mean, and I have to tell you, all right?
You're so full
all
of
of this
shit.
sanctimonious shit out there. I'm going to tell you something right now. I saw, in 33 years of stand-up, I've never seen anybody with bigger balls. And I'm not going to say the name of the comedian, even though you're going to figure it out. But I'm just trying not to
Jessica Kirson.
Get anybody else.
A woman who recanted her whole thing and is donating her money to a human rights organization and feels horrible about the entire ordeal.
This fucking shit coming at him. Went on over there, openly gay. And in the middle of the set, two of the diplomats got up to go to the bathroom, and this person said, "Hey, where are you going? Are you going to go on Grindr?" I mean, I've seen them all. I've never seen anybody. It's like I don't have the balls to say that. And the fact that her own people came at her and all of that, it's disgusting. It really is. That's what they're going to clip. That's what they're going to clip. Bill says fucking the reaction to da-da-da is disgusting. And I'll tell you what else is amazing and really confusing to me is what we did over there wasn't even on TV. However, what everybody's complaining about was on TV the week before. On a different event, and nobody said anything. So, you know, and that's the difference between being a billion-dollar conglomerate and being an independent contractor. It's kind of like, you know, if you go back to like...
His brain is breaking.
I don't want to talk anymore about it, but like...
He was like, shit. He could see the walls closing in his own spooky haunted house of being a comedian. He was like, oh no, there's monsters in all these rooms where I'm looking for salvation.
I said, like, I would love to answer all of this stuff. I'm not afraid of any of these questions. I would love to answer them.
Yeah, I bet you would.
You know, it's just
but
that,
you contractually can't. You contractually can't. Or you'd have to give all the money back, which is what it's all about.
My favorite thing, you know, I did a couple of...
There was a Riyadh Comedy Festival there. Bill never did it. This isn't the first time they've ever had stand-up there. You could have gone at any time. You could have gone at any time.
Sets last night.
You didn't want to because there's no money.
I didn't run into any of the special ones when I was down there, but I'm really looking forward to that when I do. Because I know this is how this shit goes down, you know? Yada, yada, yada is said over here. And then when you run into the person face to face, this is what's always said. Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, man. How's it going, man?
Huh?
Just checking in on you, man. Are you doing okay, man? That fucking bullshit. That phony-ass bullshit. But I'm not going to lie to you. You know, how do I put this? Do you know when you just sort of, no matter what the behavior is, but you just know a person, so you just expect it, so it doesn't bug you? That's kind of how it is. So I sort of expect that. And, oh, my God. Do you know what I did yesterday to fucking calm me down for the amount of bullshit out there? The fucking roast jokes that I wrote yesterday. It was as an exercise.
Did you calm yourself down by researching human rights violations by the Saudis? Did you look up Khashoggi? Did you look up all the women they've locked up in prison there for wanting to drive cars, Bill? You know how your fucking wife is always in your ear? About fucking Donald Trump, dude. Donald Trump's a fucking fascist autocrat, fat piece of shit. That guy.
I had a real good time doing that. Okay, but I will toe the line that the reason that, you know, yeah, I'm going to shut up now. There you go. There's for your fucking news cycle. Now go twist all of that around. But just remember, there was women at the show.
Okay, this is funny. They're building the straw man, right? There was women at no one ever said there were no women there. No one ever said that, Bill.
4 hotties down front. Faces were not covered. Smoke shows down front. 8,000 citizens is what I performed in front of. Mm-hmm. And then I had the teachers looking at me while I did it. And I also connected in a country that had just been hit by 2 fucking missiles, 3 missiles, whatever the fuck it was. So, you know, I'm going to go with the fact that people really, the reason you didn't go, not because you were scared shitless, because we all were. So and I get it if you were. So anyway.
There you go. As Red Bar would say, take your full sip. There was his full sip.
So
You hear
anyway,
it. That's funny to hear an just audio only. A signature trademark Red Bar full sip. God, that kicks ass. He basically did an entire show for the wealthiest people. He did a corporate event for like Berkshire Hathaway and everybody that was bailed out by Obama in 2008, all those people. And he was like, look, they have great lives. The women seem happy. I don't know what anyone's talking about. I promise you, within 100 yards of the venue was a little guy who's lived inside of a shoebox his entire life. He's lived inside a shoebox. He looks like a black scorpion. They let him out of the shoebox to like pick up cigarette butts in the desert and like bring it back, like some weird like environmentally protected like scorpion that roams the earth and just picks up little specks of trash and then goes right back in the shoebox and puts the lid on. That's been his entire life, and he's 80 years old, and he doesn't even get paid money. God, I love having this. But okay, so let's see here. So Saudi Arabia, right? So I'm switching to my lav now. This kind of rules to be able to switch. So Saudi Arabia. So Saudi. So this is Burr. This is what Burr says, right? You see that? This is what Burr. This is Burr world. Burr world. Ready? So Saudis. So we'll do Saudi Arabia, right? Here. And we'll do the USA here. The USA here. So Saudi Arabia, trillionaires. See these guys, trillionaires? Because these guys have so much money, they laugh when people say, like Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. These guys laugh. These guys laugh. They have so much money they can't even count it. So trillionaires is, I'll put a check mark. Trillionaires, good. USA, billionaires. Billionaires. That's bad. That's really bad, right? Okay, so USA, what did the United States have that no one else has ever had in the history of the world? Can anyone name me what the United States of America has had that no one has had in the history of the world except for the United States? That's right, slaves. Slaves. We're the only country historically to ever have slaves. And Bill Burr thinks that's bad. So slaves is bad. But over here, slaves. Now, that's good. That's good over here on the Saudi Arabia side. Okay, now we'll look up how many slaves exist in Saudi Arabia. And obviously, no one's going through and counting these guys. They don't exist, they're ghosts. So according to just the AI overview, the fake Google thing, we have 740,000. That's 740,000 people living in slavery. 740,000 slaves. Bill Burr, good. But Burr didn't see any of these guys, so they're fine. And he has balls. I heard a woman went over there, and she was like, "Hey, what are you guys on Grindr?" I mean, the balls. How many slaves? I'm gonna ask woke Google how many slaves existed in America before the Civil War. 3 million. Okay, 3. So they got him there. 3 million. But so this is less. So in Burr's defense, less slaves, right? Less slave. Now, Burr claims that they're going to have free speech soon. So I'm gonna put over here, because they actually have Applebee's. I don't know if you guys knew that. So let's just put this, we'll put Applebee's, which is, remember Burr was talking about a conglomerate and how, Burr talks about how there's like 6 or 7 corporations that own everything. So that's bad, right? But in this case, Applebee's is actually good. But over here, I'm gonna put Applebee's, Chili's, what have you. So over here, Applebee's is actually bad. It's actually bad over here. He's kind of like the Wojak meme, where you just look at the guy who loves Japanese culture a lot, and is soy jacking at like a McDonald's in Japan, but then getting really mad at a McDonald's in the United States. It's basically what he's doing. What else? Am I missing anything? Also, I forgot to put this: beheadings. That's and beheadings, I'll say, executions. And let's just put, let's put it all in one here. Crucifixion. That's good. That's good. And then, but over here, the death penalty in the United States, which they try to do in a humane way. They don't fucking whack at a guy's head until it rolls across the floor like a soccer ball. That penalty, that's bad. So are we following the logic here yet? Does it make sense? So these giant corporations in America, like this, that's bad. That's bad because it's there. So it's evil, and a big evil CEO who makes a bunch of money. He has a pitchfork. He's a pitchfork and he's red. And he owns it, and he's bad. And he hates when people unionize. But here, dude, this is a sign that you're actually free. So is everyone following? This means in Saudi Arabia, you're free. You're free, and you're just like America. But you're also not, because here this means that you're ruled by the billionaires and you're not free. I don't think you guys are able to follow along, because basically Bill is so smart, but he's also so dumb. So he tells you constantly he's dumb. But then also he insists upon the fact that he's right and knows better than everybody. But he says, so he likes to be sanctimonious on his podcast about the elite and wealthy people, but if you accuse him, then you're actually sanctimonious, and he's never been sanctimonious. So this is Burr world. That's Burr world here. And I want to point out too that the slaves, that it's not because they're racist. So it's not as bad to have slaves because it's not racism. Here it's racism. See, it's racist and bad. Also, I'd like to point out too that over here in Saudi Arabia, they have in Riyadh a little guy by the name of Jordan Beijing Peterson, a guy by the name of Bin Laden. He started from the ground up. He started a little thing that flew a bunch of planes into a bunch of buildings or something in New York. I'm not really sure. That's good. That's actually good. And then over here, the SEAL Team 6. SEAL Team 6 killed him, but actually Actually, that's bad because he was just sitting there and he couldn't defend himself and everything. So that's bad. They're bad. So all this stuff is good. All this stuff's bad. Even though some of it kind of looks the same, it's not because you fucking morons don't understand the context of everything. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense to me. If you don't get it, I mean, honestly, you got to open a history book sometime and learn about free speech, which comedians are experts in. They're experts in free speech because they write jokes about gift shops and like the difference between burgers and hot dogs. And the difference between, they're like, dude, women like it cold than the cob, but men like it hot. What's up with that? My wife's always, freezing. She needs a blanket, and the guy's always so hot, So, but together, so people don't really understand. Let me show you something here. Let me get a tissue. It's not for jacking off. It's for telling the truth. So I want to explain. See, I need to get one of the, if anybody could donate $2,500 to me so my wife will let me buy one of the digital smart boards, that would kick ass. That would be awesome. I forget what my point was. I forget what I was talking about. I was going to write a whole thing and now I forgot. It doesn't really matter though. Something about free speech, probably. I fucking love free speech, dude. So does everybody know what a hegemonic situation is? A hegemony? Hegemony. So hegemony. I'm only vaguely aware of what this word means, right? But basically, you have an oppressive force. Oppressive force, right? And they're losing this is the oppressive force, and they're losing stability and control over a situation, and they're sinking like this, right? They're sinking. And below them, I don't know if I'm using this word correctly at all. Uprising, you have an uprising force, right? See this, uprising, and then they're moving up. And this is a hegemonic situation here, right? And this creates conflict and war and political unrest and everything else, right? But check this out. You know what can fix situations like this? There's one thing that can fix all of this. Well, there's one thing. Can anybody guess what it is? That's right. It's stand-up comedy. That's right. So think of stand-up comedy like this big, like a big laser from space, right? So it's a big laser like this. It's like a big gun. See that? See the trigger and everything? It's like a ray gun. And what it does is it goes, sir, what do you do for a living? Where do you work? Where do you work? And the guy goes, oh, I'm an accountant. And he goes, accountant? He goes, what is that? What do you guys just count stuff all day? Isn't that what people do in kindergarten or whatever the fuck, right? And then maybe that doesn't really get a laugh. It gets kind of something, right? You dive into something like that. Or you go, sir, you're Asian and you're black. How does that work? And people laugh because you said because people in America are very neutered and they have to work in corporate culture where they think about killing themselves all day. So if you just say something like, hi, are you Chinese and you're black? And people will laugh because their lives are hell and there's such tension. There's such tension with them at the workplace because they think about killing themselves and their families all day. And they're completely boring and they've given themselves lobotomies just so they could survive in in a fallen world, right? So that's what stand-up comedy is. Or you have a bit about like ducks or something. So you say that, right? And that comes out in here, and then it destroys this. That's stand-up comedy. It comes out, and by the way, this costs on Ticketmaster free speech. Usually there's fees, it's like $15 on Ticketmaster. That's a fee, but that's for free speech. There's a $15 fee to protect free speech on Ticketmaster, and then tickets are like $100, you know. And then you got to pay for parking. It's like $30, and then you need a babysitter, which is like $60. No, probably. Let's go 80. Sorry, I'm thinking like older prices. So like 80, 30, 15, 100, you know, it's like $200, but free speech. And the free speech gun, so this is free speech, right? So free speech comes out of this ray gun, and it destroys everything. Because these are the oppressive people, right, in the uprising force. It neutralizes this, and then everything it merges, and it becomes like a utopia. It becomes utopia, where everyone is free, and everyone is free, but so everyone's free, but then the stand-ups, they get to keep all the money. They get all the money, and they have like 4 or 5 houses. This is kind of like a blueprint that from listening to comedy podcasts, I understand this is how you'll kind of fix the world and fix everything that's going on right now. It's not rocket science. And again, I don't know what most of these words mean. So, but if I don't even understand what words mean, and if I can't even pronounce most words, then what does that tell you about me? And I only spent a couple minutes thinking about this. I only spent a couple minutes thinking about it, and I was like, that's it. That'll fix everything, because I used all my knowledge from listening to comedy podcasts. This is how you save the world. This is how you be Superman, but still ensure that these guys are famous and have lots of money, and they can have sex with whoever they want. And then they can have sex. They can have sex with people that are way hotter than they should ever have sex with, and then it'll fill all the insecurities of their life and everything. So, and then they'll be happy. Because that's how I read all the books. That's how that happens. Is you get everything you want, and then you're happy. Because usually when people get everything they want, it's because they want it. It's because they want it really, really like stuff that fulfills them, like a bunch of cars and shoes and houses and stuff like that. So. And thankfully, these people can do all this because they're not insecure. You people are too insecure to do this. You're so insecure you can never do this. You see, these people know who they are. They don't have 14, 15 different personalities that they alternate between. Out of survival. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. Because these people, they have consistent track records of always being the same guy. And that's very important. And they're way funnier than just a guy you could meet at a bus stop. So they deserve to have, like, you know, they should make like $80 million a year just for standing on stage, I think. I think there should be, I think a lot of our taxes, you know, the Buffalo Bills, there was like $1 billion in taxpayer dollars for Western New York that went to building the Buffalo Bills football stadium. I think like 5% of everybody's money should just go to stand-ups. Anybody that does stand-up comedy, they should get that 5%. And then obviously they get ticket sales and everything on top of that. But they should have a base, I think. Because without them, we have no free speech. Much like how they do in Riyadh. Dude, people say, oh, people aren't free in Saudi Arabia. Mohammed bin Salman can get on a helicopter and go wherever he wants at any moment. Oh, people in Saudi Arabia aren't free. Mohammed bin Salman, he's met with presidents and world leaders and stuff. And I've seen pictures of him eating grapes. What is everyone talking about? People, they don't think for themselves. So, I don't know if you guys saw this or not. We walked out of yesterday's live show with Bill Burr. I was really interested when Bill was revealed as a surprise guest. He's a smart guy. I've always enjoyed his contrarian takes, and I was curious how he'd respond to all the flack he'd been getting for the Riyadh Comedy Fest. Instead, so what I'm confused about is Conan doesn't do a talk show anymore. I guess I'm out of the loop. What is Conan doing that's live? Is he doing the Team Coco podcast thing live? I know Bill and Conan are both in LA, but I am confused about all that. So I don't know what this is, but he did a live thing with Conan. He went on a bizarre rant about how he did such an incredible act of good by doing this festival, and that anyone upset at him is a moron who doesn't know where Saudi Arabia is on a map and must think everyone there is a machete-wielding, people-beheading psychopath because they've never actually been to the country like how he now has. Bill, I'm sorry I haven't been. I don't have the money to fly to Riyadh, Bill. Most people don't have the money to fly to Riyadh and back, much less first class. I guess I'm not as smart as Bill because I don't have as much money as him. I can't fly first class to Riyadh. And yes, Bill, I do know where Saudi Arabia is on a map because I know about 9/11. I read it. I read about 9/11 once. So yes, I know where it is, retard. Also, a lot of these people who are attacking you know about Live Golf. They know what's going on with golf and stuff, Bill. So sports fans are very well aware about Saudi Arabia. We couldn't believe how self-righteous he was about it all, talking about how because he went and performed comedy there, he helped advance the people over there to be closer to where we're at. And interesting that he's now able to see that the Saudis are people just like us because they like the same jokes, that his critics are just bots. Bill, if your critics are just bots, why are you so mad? If everybody saying this isn't a real person, why are you so angry, Bill? The only way to make money these days is to troll and outrage people. Okay, yeah, I guess so everybody that's commenting this is a bot who's not real, but also they are all real people and they're doing it to make money because there's a lot of money in trolling. Okay. No acknowledgement of the fact that this was a government. So he's contradicting himself in every sentence he says. This is a man that is spiraling bad. Very bad. This man it's curtains, Bill. It's actually curtains. I've never seen someone make a stink like this. I've defended Bill so much, like, you know, the people that hate him, they're like, he has a black wife. I'm like, this is the discourse about Bill where I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, like calm down. What the fuck? Why is everybody? But then this, I'm like, well, I can't even defend you against those people anymore. And those people are just they're gonna take it from here. The people who have been criticizing you for having an interracial marriage, Bill, they're gonna take it from here, I guess, because none of your fans are gonna defend you anymore. So. That's really unfortunate, but, you know, your wife was on TV flipping off Donald Trump because he's a fascist, and then you went to Saudi Arabia to make millions of dollars and tap dance for the Saudi royals. You went to tap dance for Mohammed bin Salman when 8 months previous, your wife was on television flipping off Trump. And you've been bitching about wealth inequality and feminism for years now. And that he's literally a millionaire, doesn't need the money, and I'm just no acknowledgement of the fact, yeah, whatever. What was disappointing though was Conan was playing as a yes man the whole time, even comparing it to his travel show and how he's gone to plenty of countries that do things he doesn't agree with. So disappointing and off-putting. What Well, I mean, he's not going to invite Bill on his show knowing he went on Riyadh and then just, you know, I mean, Conan's got to host a show. I mean, even Louis went on Mar and said, you know, I understand why people are mad about it, and I was conflicted about it too. Bill seemed to have no qualm with it. I'm fucking, and people are fucking like made of cum, and cum comes out of penises, but also, and then it goes into vaginas, and then people make babies out of goo, and isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Then Mohammed bin Salman is like, wow, I should let there be free speech here, and we should have democracy. He's sitting in the crowd watching Louis. Wow, I should let all those people out of prison. Wow, I shouldn't cut people's fucking heads off with a big sword. Fucking idiots. Comics are so fucking good. They're such fucking self-important pricks. God damn it. They're so rich now, too. Like, holy shit. Edit. Oh, yeah, here we go. Bill Burr on Saudi Arabia in 2016. I'm not going over there and getting kidnapped and getting my head sawed off on fucking YouTube. This is a direct quote from him. The machete-wielding, people beheading psychopaths part felt like a self-report. None of the critics are calling Saudi people that. That's very obviously racist. The Saudi royal family and government that hosted the event, though, they absolutely are that. Not because they're Middle Eastern, because they are authoritarian tyrants, much like Donald Trump, according to your wife, Bill. Bill's a dumbass. So either Bill's just really, 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 really dumb, but I don't know. He's had too good of takes on things. I don't think he's dumb. I think he just wants the money. I think he wants the money. I think he's a little vampire. Bill, are you a little vampire? Are you a little vampire, Bill? Do you want to sink your fangs into every wallet you see? Do you want to ring the register all around the world, Bill? Bill, who hurt you? Yeah, that's a woke lib cuck. I don't read opinions from woke lib cucks, even if they're right. Don't care. As soon as I see something, oh, this guy's like a lib cuck, I just keep scrolling. In my experience, anyone whose shtick is an asshole, but for the good guys will always choose being an asshole over being a good guy. Wow. Wow. Wow, I love to do this. Wow, I agree with that. Also, you're cringe for being a Redditor. Also, you suck ass. Also, oh, great point. Also, you're cringe for posting that and being on Reddit. Wow, useful information here. You should absolutely I love being racist towards certain people who I love being racist towards websites. I'm like, oh, you use Reddit, huh? I'm like, you're all the same. Oh, you use that website? Yeah. Yeah, I thought so. I use it too, but I don't have an account. So I don't suck ass like you, actually. But I use it sometimes too. But you use it more, and you suck ass on it. Matt, that's literally how we sell Saudi Arabia, some kind of 1980s ass interpretation. Whatever. Boo, don't care. I don't care about the racist element of people should be racist against Saudis. Who gives a shit? Cut people's heads off and shit. The Saudis are people with money, and then the other people are just slave, but they're not even human beings to them. How can you be racist towards a person that has no rights? That I don't even they can't do anything to anybody. They're in chains. They're slaves. And they're not doing a Nat Turner rebellion anytime soon. They're actually, but they have a Chili's. Dude, they have a fucking Chili's, dude. And that's the thing. A fucking woman went over there who was gay, and she went up. She's a gay Jewish woman, and she got a standing ovation. And that's balls to go over there, and for over there things are opening up, and you can go over and be a guy who's words come out of your mouth that with your lips, and they exist, and then people can receive them and think and go, wow, that's really crazy. That's good. That's good. That's gold. These memes are gold. That's great. Yes. This is how I cancel people. This is my version of canceling. I go, oh, they suck ass now. Oh, okay, well. I go, well, I was never going to go to one of their comedy shows anyway. Anyway, next. His podcast got me through. I used to work at a construction site called Lauren Engineering in Texas. I would work from May until September. May until September, I would work all summer. And I just made like $10.50 an hour, which was amazing. And I worked 60 hours a week, so I got double overtime. I'd walk around in 103 degrees all summer, and everybody thought I sucked ass. And the Mexicans would be like, hey, Clark Kent, how about you kick those crates and fly them to the warehouse, man? Everybody made fun of me. They'd ask me who my father is. You know, I looked like the ultimate gay guy there. I had these brown Warby Parker glasses. Everybody thought I was gay and sucked ass. And my job was to walk around the construction site, pick up cigarette butts, put them in the trash can, throw out trash, bring water to everybody, and I would hook up welding generators, which I was really bad at. I would get a truck, go drive across the street, get a welding generator, drive it back onto the site where they were building oil modules, and I'd have to back them up in a truck. And the thing is if you have a welding generator on the back of a truck and it's really short, you know that it's harder to back up very short trailers rather than really long big ones if you've worked any blue collar job. And I would fuck it up. They would all the welders, some of these guys were felons. They would sit there and watch me, and I'd be so nervous. I'm like 19, 20. They already think, you know, I'm a huge F word. I'd be thinking. I'd be sitting there, and they would all watch me and smoke their Marlboro Reds. They'd have dip in Marlboro Reds, and I'd be trying to back up these welding, and I'd fuck it up. They'd be like, no, 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 and I'd be jackknifing it back, and I'd pull forward. And the first couple of times, one of the really fat welders in a Confederate flag bandana would come over, and he'd knock on the window, make me get out, and then he would back it up into his sight so he could keep welding. One time they had me drive all the way to Port MacArthur from Abilene, which was about a 12 or 13-hour drive. I had to drive some exotic metals over there. But, dude, it would be so hot. It'd be so fucking hot. And I don't even think I had headphones or anything. I wasn't allowed headphones because of OSHA rules, because I had a construction helmet on, and people were getting fucked up by rebar. One guy's crane snapped, and he almost died. This one guy named Stripe or Red or something, he was bent over. People were throwing rebar down a conveyor belt. He wasn't paying attention. The rebar came, hit him in the back, and he flew like 15 feet. And they set him up in this double wide for 8 hours and gave him pills and drugs so they wouldn't have to stop the workday and send him to the hospital. Because otherwise it would have been like this many days without an accident. They would have had to do that. So they just gave him a bunch of fucking pills and put him in a double wide and let him drink water as he's going, oh, fuck, with ice on his back. There was a huge, giant black bruise on his back. But yeah, people would, I remember my boss on the first day came up to me. He's like, I'm just letting you know that someone in your group, your crew of 8 right there, I'm just letting you know, I have to legally let you know that one of them did go to prison for murder, but they served their time. Legally, I have to tell you that. I was like, okay, well, thanks for letting me know. But I never got to know who killed the guy. I never got to figure it out. There was a guy who looked kind of like a Balrog, a white Balrog. Maybe it was the little Mexican guy, though. I never knew. But anyway, I would work all summer listening, and I'd listen to Bill Burr's Monday Morning Podcast. And I'd have him playing on like my iPod Touch that I pre-downloaded stuff on. I think I had a flip phone at the time. And I had an iPod Touch and I'd preload stuff and I'd play it. And sometimes it would overheat and it'd stop working. But I'd listen to it on the speakers. And I remember one of my managers would come by. He's like, that guy uses a lot of bad words. He was Christian. You know, that guy got a foul mouth. Because every other word with Burr is like, fucking. But I thought he was so funny. And I would listen to episodes over and over. That was one of the best podcasts, man. But yeah, sad to see what you've become. Or maybe have always been. It's hard to know if people become this or have they always been that thing. There's no way of really knowing.
My chain, my chain, my chain, my chain. Don't you like my chain?